Welcome back to another Madden 20 rebuild I have for you guys here today, and today it's going to be a fantasy style rebuild. I haven't done one of these in quite some time, but there's like 3 more teams I still have to do fantasy style wise, and I'd like to get through them all before Madden 21 comes out. Now I'm not sure I'll get through all the teams realistically, but you know, I'll try my hardest. Today though, it's going to be a rebuild of the Dallas Cowboys. So this team drafted very well. I think they had one of the better drafts, which sucks because I'm an Eagles fan. I'm wearing an Eagles shirt, and I don't think you guys know this, but this hat is actually an Eagles hat. There we go. And I have this jersey here. I'm just going to throw all my Eagles stuff in the background because it's a Cowboys rebuild, and maybe I can make some Cowboys fans mad. You can't see it, but whatever. It's a Brian Dawkins jersey. I have a Fletcher Cox jersey in my closet as well. I don't know. I don't think I'll get that one out. But that thing right there, oh, hold on. Wait, that thing is another Eagles thing. Anyway, just wanted to point out that I'm an Eagles fan, and they're the better team. No, I'm just joking. They're both very good teams. Like, the Cowboys have a really good roster, and that sucks because I don't like the Cowboys. But Dak Prescott is the quarterback, and there was a big debacle with Dak Prescott if he deserves his contract. And it's a weird situation because Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. I don't think he's bad, but, you know, since I'm an Eagles fan, I have to say Dak is ass or something like that. But I don't think Dak Prescott is a bad quarterback, but I'm not exactly sure if he's worth a ton of money. You know, like, he does some things very well, but there's times where in big moments he also doesn't perform too well. I'm not trying to bash him or anything like that. Like, he's a solid quarterback. He also has a really good team around him for the most part. I know, like, the offensive line was beat up throughout the year. I think Amari Cooper was injured throughout the season as well. I understand that, but for the most part, he has a really good supporting cast around him. But let's start talking about those players, like Ezekiel Elliott, one of the best running backs in football, 24 years old, 93 overall. He is a beast. We're gonna have him on the team this entire time. I think it's between like him and Saquon for the best running back in this game. They both perform absurdly well. Amari Cooper is a fantastic #1 receiver, one of the best route runners in football, 100%. He's fast as well, 92 speed, can catch. And then you can see that route running ability displayed there, 94 short, 93 medium, 91 deep. He is fantastic. And then you have Michael Gallup at the #2 position. He's certainly good as well. I feel like a tad underrated. I almost feel like he should be like an 83, 84 or something like that. And then they drafted CeeDee Lamb, which hurts me a lot because I really wanted the Eagles to get CeeDee Lamb. I wanted them to trade up so badly. But instead, he is now on the Cowboys, which sucks because he is a great receiver. I think he's going to be the slot for us this season. And I also gave him superstar development. I think that's fair. Honestly, I think I said this before. I think the top receivers in this past class all deserve superstar. Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, and CeeDee Lamb. I feel like they should all get superstar development. So we're giving CeeDee Lamb here superstar development. I didn't talk about him, but Tony Pollard is also a good player. He was a rookie a year ago. He's still a rookie for us here, which is nice. He's a good backup running back for Zeke here. The offensive line is pretty solid. You know, Tyron Smith is a great left tackle. Zach Martin, one of the best offensive linemen in football. And then L. Collins is really good at right tackle. Thing is, though, Travis Frederick did retire, which sucks for the Cowboys because he's a very good center. But they do have Tyler Biadasz, who I could potentially, you know, start. He's a 66 overall. He might actually develop fairly well. I think I'd rather have him there than Joe Looney. So I think we're going to make that move. And then Connor Williams is actually not too bad at left guard. So I don't think I actually have to touch the offensive line really at all. I don't think Tyron Smith is going to regress too poorly. Same thing with Zach Martin. I feel like I'm good with all of these guys here. Blake Jarwin is starting at tight end. He's a 75 overall. Maybe we upgrade that because it's actually very easy to trade for tight ends. Actually, I have a couple guys in mind who I can go out and get because this is fantasy style. We can trade for whoever we want. That's what's going to be happening. And then on the defensive side, Clinton Dix is the starting strong safety. 80 overall for him. Certainly not bad. Xavier Woods is at free safety. He's fairly young, 24 years old, 77 overall. Chidobe Awuzie, Jordan Lewis, Anthony Brown are the #1, 2, and 3 corners, but they did draft Trayvon Diggs. I think this was a good selection in the second round, and he's going to get some playing time for sure. Now, I don't know if I'm going to trade Jordan Lewis because he's a good player. He's 24 years old. The thing is, though, like, Anthony Brown has star development. He's a year older. That's not even that big of a deal, though. I don't know, but I want Trayvon Diggs to start. I want Chidobe Awuzie to start, that's for sure. Of course, they don't have Byron Jones anymore. He went to the Dolphins in free agency. Tyrone Crawford, Gerald McCoy, Dantari Poe, and Dexter Lawrence are the defensive linemen, but they also have Neville Gallimore, who I really want to start because he's a beast. He's a 73 overall. I think I'm going to start him instead of Dantari Poe. Honestly, I think I'm going to trade Dantari Poe. He's still very strong, and he's definitely not bad, but he's 29 years old, and I'd rather have Gallimore here anyway. Gerald McCoy is also old, but I think he's good enough to keep on the team for a little while. Tyrone Crawford will probably be traded. Maybe we can try to get a new edge rusher to play alongside DeMarcus Lawrence. And now I really hope I didn't say Dexter Lawrence. I feel like there's a decent chance I did because I always do that. I always confuse DeMarcus Lawrence and Dexter Lawrence. It's just something that happens. I don't know. Jalen Smith, Leighton Vander Esch are the middle and left outside linebackers, and then Sean Lee at right outside linebacker, of course, out of Penn State. So I kind of like half of him, I guess, because I'm a Penn State fan, but he's on the Cowboys, and you guys all know how that goes. The Dallas Cowboys have a really good roster. I think they're going to play well in real life, and they probably will play well for me here in the game. I'm going to go ahead and make a couple trades. Of course, this is fantasy style. I know I already mentioned it twice, but you can never mention it enough. So I'm going to go ahead and trade away a lot of the older pieces on this team, get some draft picks, get some new players. I'm looking to get a new tight end for sure, and potentially an edge rusher. I don't know if I'll be able to, but I'll try my best. So I know the team just signed Andy Dalton, but it's Madden, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm giving the Raiders Andy Dalton, Tyrone Crawford, and Maurice Kennedy for their first round draft pick. So for this trade, I'm getting a new tight end, and he's arguably the best tight end in football right now. Dontari Poe, Antoine Woods, and the Cowboys first round draft pick will get me George Kittle. With this trade, it's going to be Joe Looney, Randy Gregory, and Daryl Worley for the Vikings first round draft pick. This trade is going to be Blake Jarwin, Anthony Brown, and Joe Thomas for the 49ers first and third round draft picks. The first is this year and the third is next year. So the reason why I'm trading Anthony Brown and not Jordan Lewis is because Brown is much more expensive right now, and I know he has star development. It's really not that big of a difference. I think Jordan Lewis can play just as fine. Alright, so this is going to be the team for the first season. So it's an 84 overall, 88 offense, 80 defense. This team is really strong, and I think they can definitely make it into the playoffs. Dak Prescott is still the quarterback. Hopefully he has a good year. He has an incredible supporting cast at the moment. We added George Kittle to the team, so he just has another insane pass catching option. I think he's going to have a really good year. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins MVP. Honestly, the offensive line, like the interior, isn't all that good aside from Zach Martin. Of course, Zach Martin's phenomenal, but Tyler Byadash and Connor Williams could be better, and maybe I will improve those positions if they don't play well, but honestly, I think these guys will play well, and they probably will develop because they're both very young. And then on the defensive side, we didn't add anybody. I don't think so, at least. I'm pretty sure we just traded away a lot of pieces. We just build for the future, but I think the team is good enough where the starters can carry this team into the playoffs for the first couple years, and then I can try to draft some rookies to fill some other gaps. I think I'm in a pretty good position. We have like 3 first round draft picks, which should be more than enough to draft some studs for this team, but I will see you guys at the mid-season mark. Okay, let's see how the team is doing here at week 9. We are 7-0, and the Giants are 6-2. Okay, why do the Giants always play so well? They ended up signing Andrew Luck, and I made him a punter. That's what I do before every rebuild, just to make sure that he doesn't actually end up on a team for a while. But I don't know who their quarterback is, then. It could still be Danny Dimes. He plays well in simulation, but you never know. 5-3 for the Eagles, 4-4 for the Redskins. So this entire division is actually pretty good, but hopefully we can continue this streak. I would love to go undefeated. I've never went undefeated in a video, but I did do it in a rebuild battle once against a subscriber. But here's a look at the offense. The team is progressing very well. CeeDee Lamb is up to a 79. He has 1 more experience point, so he's going to go up to an 80. And then a quick look at the defense. The team is up very nicely. Trayvon Diggs up to a 76. Team's looking nice. Okay, we just need to upgrade the defense, I think, a little bit in the offseason, and this team will be a dynasty, I think. So Dak Prescott needs to come back to the team, and I think I am going to give him a contract. Now, I don't know how accurate we can make this to real life, but I'm just going to offer him this. Let's see if he wants it. He's coming back to the team. I think that's way under what he was asking for, but I don't really care too much. It's Madden. The contracts are messed up in the game to begin with, so I'm not trying to make them super realistic. It's just not worth it. Okay, so we made the playoffs, and we won in week 17. So you guys know what that means. The undefeated dream is alive. And we got so close, 14-2. Who did we lose to? Let's see how much we lost by. So we lost by 3 there to the Patriots, which is really unfortunate. And then we lost by 14 to the Eagles. So I think this could have very easily been a 15-1 kind of season if maybe we just played a little bit better there against the Patriots. Very close to being undefeated, though. We didn't lose by all that many points combined. Let's check out these stats, though. Dak Prescott, 3,787 yards, 40 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. What a season from Dak Prescott. That is insane. He was incredibly safe with the football, but he still managed to toss 40 touchdowns. That is a great season to have. Ezekiel Elliott just isn't fair. I think we all know this in Madden simulation, by the way. 6.3 yards per carry, 19 touchdowns, 1,700 yards. That is a disgusting season to have. George Kittle leads the team in catches and yards, but CeeDee Lamb has 12 touchdowns. That's a good season for him. 9 touchdowns for George Kittle as well. The offensive line held up incredibly well, so I think we can keep this, offensive line the entire time. Defensively, we have 117 tackles for Jalen Smith, We have 10 tackles for loss for DeMarcus Lawrence, 10 for Neville Gallimore as well, but DeMarcus Lawrence had 16 sacks. Aldon Smith, I had him starting. He had 10.5 sacks. That's really cool to see there. Interceptions, we have 4 for Jalen Smith and Trayvon Diggs, 2 for Leighton Vander Esch and Chidobe Awuzie, 1 for HaHa Clinton Dix, Jordan Lewis, Xavier Woods, and Luke Gifford. We have no touchdowns or safeties, but we do have a pair of blocked kicks. Okay, we were second in the NFL on offense. That's pretty much because Ezekiel Elliott ran incredibly well. And then 11th on defense. Okay. So Dak Prescott wins MVP with Zeke right behind him. I think that's fair. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Dak Prescott with Zeke right behind him. Okay, fair once again. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Roquan Smith, but Jalen Smith at number 2. DeMarcus Lawrence at number 9 as well. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Daniel Jones, but we do have CeeDee Lamb at number 5. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Trayvon Diggs. That's actually a massive award to win. It'd be really cool if he can go up in development trade or something. If we can get him to Superstar, that would be huge. But let's advance by this week, see who we have to take on. I'll spend the coach experience and whatnot before this game. We have to go up against the 9-7 Green Bay Packers. Okay, so let me spend the coach experience. I'm actually going to get the wide receiver boost because I want CeeDee Lamb to be a monster. I want him up with Amari Cooper as soon as possible. So let's see what the Packers overall is looking like. They're in 86. We are in 87. I think we can win this game, but the Packers are very good. Of course, they have Aaron Rodgers. You really can't count him out if he's still the quarterback. Let's go into the conference championship where we will be in the game. We have to take on the New Orleans Saints now. They're in 87, and they are, I think, the best team in the NFC in Madden. The Cowboys are very good as well. Like, the team we've built right now is disgusting. But let's go to the Super Bowl and see if we can make it year 1. That would be phenomenal. And we can make the Super Bowl, and surprisingly enough, we don't have to go up against the Browns. We have to go up against the Ravens. But before I forget, let me actually go ahead and check out who won the Heisman, because sometimes I forget this, and if you go too far, you can't see it anymore. Okay, so it's going to be Bruce Arnold. I'm going to go check out who that is really quickly. Bruce Arnold, okay. It'd be nice if he's like a defensive end. I never see them winning the Heisman, but, you know, it could happen, I guess. Let's see if we can find him. There he is. He's a cornerback. It's actually not that bad of a position for us right now. I could use a new cornerback. But let's hop into this game here against the Ravens. I'm not actually going to play any of this game because it's just so early in the video. Maybe down the line I'll hop in a little bit. I usually like doing that like the last season, the second to last season maybe. But let's just completely sim by this one and see if we can win. Let's commentate through the whole game. Why not? So they're going to start off strong, 7-0, 14-0 for them. 14-7, we bounce back a little bit. We're going to tie up the game 14-14, 21-14 heading into halftime, 28-14, 31-14. I think we have this game. 38-17. A lot of points were scored very quickly. 41-24, 48-24. We are just stomping the team right now, at least offensively. We lit up 30 points, which isn't ideal, but we put up 48. 48-30. We win the Super Bowl in the first season. It's exactly what you want to see when you start a fantasy style rebuild. That's awesome. Now let's hop into the offseason and see if we can make this team even better. All right, let's see if we want anybody here back on the team really quickly. We do not, because I don't really want to give Sean Lee another contract. It's nice that he won a Super Bowl, though. I feel like if I were him, I'd just retire at that point. I don't know. He's played a long career. He's been a beast for a while, but, you know, he won a Super Bowl. Just hanging up, but I don't know. I guess he's going to keep trying to win another one, potentially. But we have negative $600,000 in cap room. That makes a lot of sense. The team is massively expensive at the moment, and there really isn't too much here who I'd want. You know, like Chris Jones would be really nice on this team. Eric Armstead would be cool on this team as well. I don't even think he's supposed to be here at the moment, but, you know, whatever. That's what happens whenever you use a fully custom roster, because you can't change contracts in those for whatever reason. Also, Daryl Worley, I think, went up in development trait, which is pretty funny. I forgot to check that out, development trait upgrades. Let me go ahead and do that. I'm not going to go after any free agents either. I'm not going to try to cut players and make room. But Ezekiel Elliott is up to X Factor. He's also up to a 98 overall. Is that with a morale boost? It is. Okay, so he's a 96. Amari Cooper's up to a 96. CeeDee Lamb is up to an 86. Okay, I don't think anyone else here on the offense is up in development trade. I'm surprised Dak Prescott didn't go up to Superstar. I think he more than deserved it. And then defensively, anybody up in development trade? Xavier Woods is up to Star. That's pretty cool to see. Aldon Smith didn't go up. No, he had a good season. I was really hoping something would happen there. Trayvon Diggs is up to an 86 overall as well. The team is looking really nice at the moment, but I will see you guys in the draft. This draft class looks very nice. I'm really excited to get into this one. So the Broncos have the first pick. I don't know if I'm going to trade up. I don't think I will. The first player I want is actually Bruce Arnold, the dude who won the Heisman. I'm really excited to have that guy on the team because I think he might have X Factor. And then I really want Braden Haynes. I think this guy's going to be a stud. But really quickly, look at this receiver class. Just look at the top 3 receivers. They're all supposed to go early first round. These guys are going to be so good. What is this, man? They're all incredible. And this guy's a good combine grade. He's just not that great of a receiver. Now, let me just quickly check out the Broncos team. I don't know if they would take a cornerback. They have AJ Bouye, Bryce Callahan, Isaac Yiadom. Okay, so I don't know if they'd take a corner. They might go quarterback because there's a really good-looking quarterback at the top of the class. I know they have Drew Lock, but quarterback is still one of their needs. There's also a good linebacker at the top, so I don't think they'd actually take a corner here. I really hope they don't. They go with Ellis Bartel, a middle linebacker. Okay, now we have the next 2 picks, and I think I'm going to take a cornerback and a defensive end. Now, the thing is, there is this other cornerback, Richard Henderson, who could also be an X Factor. I don't even know if this Arnold guy is going to be an X Factor, but I think he has a better chance of being one. Now, Henderson looks incredible. He's a really good combine grade, really good top 3 skills. He's going to be a really good corner as well, but I want Arnold on the team. I think this guy is going to have a really good development trait. So welcome to the squad. He's a 79 with hidden, the best player in the entire class. 95 speed, 91 acceleration, 91 agility. And now he's going to pair incredibly well with Chidobe Awuzie and Trayvon Diggs, and we're going to have like the best cornerback trio in the NFL in a very short period of time. And now with this pick, I'm going to go with a defensive end. This guy looks like a beast. He's going to play alongside DeMarcus Lawrence. Welcome to the team, Braden Haynes. He's a 77 overall hidden development trait, ranked number 4, took him at number 3. He has good speed, good finesse moves, good acceleration, good tackling strength, and agility. Yeah, this guy's going to be a really good player. Now, I'm just hoping he doesn't have star development. Now, our next pick is at pick number 17. I don't know exactly who I want with this one. I could use a linebacker to play where Sean Lee was last year. Let's see if there's any linebackers left. Probably not. There's this guy in the 2nd round who actually looks pretty good. He's supposed to go early 2nd round. I might take him now, actually, because we're definitely not going to be able to get him in the 2nd. I was thinking about either taking a linebacker or some offensive lineman here, but we really don't even need an offensive lineman. So I think instead I'm going to go with this linebacker. I feel like he's like the best player available at the moment. Roman Meyer is welcome to the team. He's a 72 with hidden, and he looks very athletic. Yeah, 86 speed, 88 acceleration, 76 pursuit, 78 awareness, 76 strength. Good zone coverage as well. 72 is not bad for a rookie. He's going to play at one of the outside linebacker positions. He's not going to play all that much, but you know, he'll be involved and he should develop pretty well. Now, the last pick in the 2nd round, I'm just consulting the draft board. We have a mid-2nd round talent player and then an early 2nd round talent. I'm going to go with the DK Metcalf's long-lost cousin, Simon Metcalf. Let's go. He looks like a beast. He's a 70 with normal. Ranked number 34, took him at number 64. He is a really good player, but he's probably not ever going to see, you know, a starting opportunity, which is okay. It's not that big of a deal if he doesn't play because I really like the offensive lineman on the team. I mentioned that before, and I don't really think we need any upgrades or anything like that, but if this other offensive lineman were available, I would have taken him right there. Well, let's just take one shot in the dark and see if we can get a legend. Most likely not, because I don't see any good combine grades. There's actually a strong safety and a defensive tackle here who look pretty decent, so Keelan Giles, welcome to the team. He's a 68, but he has hidden. I really want to start this guy then, and maybe try to trade Gerald McCoy, because McCoy is going to regress really poorly after this season anyway, so maybe we'll actually go that route. So this draft went very well, in my opinion. We got a bunch of starters. So we have 3 starters here, a really solid backup, and another potential starter. I think I might actually start that Giles guy. We'll have to look into it. But let's check out the rest of the league. I want to see those 3 receivers, because they all looked really, really good. So there's one of them right here. He's a 78 overall, Lee Barrett. There's another one, a 76, and then another 76. Those guys are all so good. This is that other cornerback, Richard Henderson. He has normal development. I'm really happy I didn't take him. He's a great player, but I'd much rather Bruce Arnold on the team. He is so much better. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't make that mistake. But this draft class does look very solid. There's a lot of really good players here. But let's advance the week. I'll get everything situated, and we might even trade for some other players. I don't exactly know yet. I'm just doing one quick trade here. It's going to be Gerald McCoy and Jordan Lewis for the Jaguars' 1st round draft pick. We cleared a little bit of cap by doing this, and there's not really any players who I want to go out and get right now. I like where the team is, so I'm Good with that. We have another first-round draft pick heading into this next season, but this is going to be the team. It's an 86 overall, 92 offense, 81 defense. Now, the defense can still use a bit of an improvement, but I think these guys are going to develop really well on that side of the ball. I think the offense can also just carry this team into another playoff berth. The team looks so good on this side of the football. I didn't change anything because I don't think I needed to. But then defensively, we have a couple new faces. We have Haynes starting at right end, Myers starting at right outside linebacker, Arnold is definitely going to be starting, and then I'm going to start Giles at the number 2 defensive tackle position. I'm good with that because he does have at least star, which is fantastic. I think he can develop really well. But I will see you guys at the mid-season mark again. Okay, so at week 9 again, it's right after a bye week, which is interesting. It's just funny how that happened once again. We are 5-2 on top of the NFC East, 3-4 for the Eagles, 2-5 for the Giants, 2-6 for the Redskins. Now, let's check out these development traits. I'm very interested in the ones on defense because I think we have at least one X factor. I'm hoping, at least, because he was the Heisman winner. That's usually a pretty good indicator, but we'll see what happens. On the offense, though, we have 299 overalls, and we're probably going to have a couple more after this season. That's just nuts. And then defensively, the cornerback does have X factor. It makes me very happy that's the case. Okay. Myers, his development trait is still not revealed. Same thing with Giles, but Haynes has star, which is kind of upsetting, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm just glad we got one X factor. I kind of figured that was going to happen since he did win the Heisman, like I said. But George Kittle needs to come back to the team. I don't know how much money we have to do this. Chidobe Awuzie needs to come back to the team. Xavier Woods, I'd like back. Neville Gallimore, I'd like back. Should he even be here? Or is this contract supposed to be a little bit longer? I don't know exactly, but we'll make it work. So George Kittle, I want a lot. I think we can actually bring all these players back. Let me just try to give him the base contract if possible. He likes the length, but the financial side needs some work. Okay, that's not that big of a deal. We can make that work. Chidobe Awuzie is a good player as well. I want him back on the team. He's coming back for, another couple years. I think that's a 4-year contract. I want to bring back Gallimore as well. He's still cheap, so I don't really mind too much if he shouldn't actually be here at the moment. It's really not that big of a deal. And then Xavier Woods, I do want back on the team as well. He's also very cheap. We're going to give him a 3-year contract. He's coming back to the team. Okay, so the only one who declined was George Kittle. And I think we can get him back next week. So George Kittle wants to play for a new team next year. Why is he being so annoying with this? Maybe we can just tag him at the end of the season. Okay, so we made the playoffs again, and we got another first round bye. This time we went 12-4. Clearly the best team in this division, but hang on a second. The Eagles tied 4 times. What? What? That is insane. What, 4 times? Okay, well anyway, we did very well this season once again. Dak Prescott, 4,175 yards, 42 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He is insane in this game. Ezekiel Elliott is also insane, 13 touchdowns, 5.7 yards per carry. A worse season than a year ago, but it's okay. This season is still remarkable. Receiving-wise, CeeDee Lamb had a great year, 107 catches, 1,271 yards, 16 touchdowns. George Kittle, 12 touchdowns for him. Amari Cooper, 902 yards. The offensive line was very solid here once again. Defensively then, 106 tackles for Jalen Smith. We have 19 tackles for loss for DeMarcus Lawrence, who had 20 sacks. 7.5 for Braden Haynes is pretty good. 6.5 for Neville Gallimore isn't bad either. We have 3 picks for Chidobe Awuzie and Xavier Woods. 2 for L'Jarius Sneed, who I don't even think should be on this team. 1 for Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, and Bruce Arnold. Okay, we have no touchdowns, safeties, or blocked kicks this year. That's kind of upsetting. We were second on offense once again. And now defensively, we were second as well. Okay, so we were a very good team here. Dak Prescott wins another MVP, which is fantastic to see there. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Dak Prescott here once again. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Khalil Mack, but DeMarcus Lawrence at number 2. Offensive Rookie of the Year is William Howell. Nobody from the Cowboys, but Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to that other cornerback, Richard Henderson. But Braden Haynes, Bruce Arnold, Roman Myers, and Keelan Giles are numbers 2 through 5, which is really interesting there. Now, let's check out what the development trait of a couple of these guys are. Actually, I'm going to simulate first, and then we will check that out. So it's still the defensive tackle and the outside linebacker. We don't know their development traits just yet. We can also very quickly check out the team, just as we're going through here. CeeDee Lamb is up to a 90 overall. I think a couple of these guys are being impacted by their morale, but that's fine. Defensively then, this guy has star, the outside linebacker does, so does the defensive tackle. That's fine. I'll take 3 stars if it means we get 1 X factor. I think that's a perfectly fine trade-off. Let me spend the coach experience here. Might as well get the quarterback upgrade. I don't know, make Dak Prescott as insane as possible, and then I'll save the rest for maybe like the running back or tight end or something. I don't know. We have to take on the Packers here, though. They are 10-6. They have an 85 overall team, still with Aaron Rodgers, so I don't think this game is a gimme by any standards. Let's advance by, though, and see if we can make it to the conference championship, where we can, and we have to go up against the Falcons. They are 10-5-1. They're an 84 overall. Honestly, I think we can go back-to-back, boys. Let's get it. If we can make it to the Super Bowl, I think we can win it. Are we in the big game? Let's see. We are. We have to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, so let's hop into this game. Maybe I'll actually play a little bit. Actually, before I do that, let me see if anybody's up in development trade. I didn't check that out last year at this time, but maybe I actually will play a little bit of this. I don't know. CeeDee Lamb is an X factor, which is phenomenal to see. He also has 2 more experience points. He's going to be such a good player for us. He already has been, but I'm just saying, like, he's incredible. I don't think anyone else here on the offense is up in development trade, but that's fine. And then on the defensive side, I don't think anyone here is up in development trade. I'm kind of sad by that. I don't even know who would have went up, but it's okay. Now, let's see if we can take down the Pittsburgh Steelers and go back-to-back. That would be so cool. And like I said, I might actually hop into this. Maybe if the team's losing, I will. But if they're winning, I'm just going to let them do it. All right, so the Steelers go ahead pretty early in this game. 10-0 now. They have a 2-possession lead. Can we make a big drive here? That drive started from like our 3-yard line, and we got a touchdown. 10-7. Come on. The offense needs to come alive a little bit more here. 10-10, 17-10. We have the lead. Score again. 24-10, please. Okay, 20-10. I'll take that. 20-13. 23-13. 26-13. 26-20, and we're gonna win another Super Bowl. All right, we go back-to-back. Let's see if we can get the three-peat. That would be insane. All right, so that was a fantastic end to this season. Well, let's advance into the offseason and see who we have to bring back. I would like to franchise tag George Kittle, if that's a possibility at the moment. I don't know if it is, since he declined in the middle of this season. It still is a possibility. Now, I don't even know if we have money for this. We don't, but honestly don't care. We're just going to franchise tag George Kittle. I'm not going to get any more free agents, but we really don't need to. And I know it doesn't make much sense with the whole cap situation, but it's Madden. It's a fantasy-style rebuild. Just use your imagination, I guess. I don't know. Negative $12 million, because that's a great number to be at. And I don't even think I would have went after anyone here if I had the money. Probably Keanu Neal. I would have given him a contract, but it's okay. I'm very comfortable with where the team is at the moment, and I'll see you guys in the draft. Okay, so we are loading into the 2020 NFL Draft, and there's really not much I need. After winning 2 consecutive Super Bowls, you can kind of imagine that. But we do have the 9th overall pick and, of course, the 32nd overall pick. And with this one, I'm going to be taking a defensive tackle. He's supposed to go late first round, but he's an early first round talent. This guy is probably going to come in and start. He looks very good, so welcome to the team. He's a 76 with hidden. Okay, I'm hoping that is superstar development or better. That would be amazing, but it's at least star, so that's fine by me. And now with the last pick in the first round, I have another player in mind, but he's probably going to be selected by the time we pick. It's a strong safety, and he looks very nice. But let's see if he's still here. He is not. That's sad. But maybe this cornerback is? No, he's gone too. Okay, so now I don't really know who I want. Maybe I'll just take like a backup middle linebacker. Actually, this guy looks great. That guy's so good. Randall Malone? Might have to go with him just based on talent because he's definitely the best player left. Bernard Rush is going to be a good player as well. But I'm going to take Randall Malone because why not? He's a 77 with normal, ranked number 3. Took him at number 32. Now, he's not going to be playing outside linebacker for us. I'll move him down to edge, and I guess he'll be a backup, but he's still a really good player. I guess with this pick, if I can still take that middle linebacker, I definitely will, but I doubt he's going to be here. Yeah, he's not here anymore. That's fine. It's really not a big deal. And let's just see if there's anybody here who I want. Like anybody's combine looking good. Diamond Black. Looks like he has a pretty good combine, but he's very slow. So I don't think he's actually going to be that good of a player. Who do we have scouted? Right, so I had auto scouting on for a while. But let's see if there's anybody like supposed to go in the first or something. We have a defensive tackle supposed to go in the late first. Might as well take that guy because he's probably the best player left. I'm going to do that. Welcome to the team, my dude, Cam Dean. He's a 71 and he has hidden. Okay, so we have really good defensive tackle depth now, which is cool to see. I think this draft also went very well. Like, once again, I really didn't need any position in particular. But we got 2, players who are at least a 76, which is pretty cool to see. A 67 overall receiver isn't too bad there in the 3rd round. Only normal development, but that's fine. But let's see who the best player in the class was, because I don't think we got that player. There's a 79 overall cornerback, and he is the best in the class. He has 97 speed. 94 acceleration, 88 agility. That guy is nutty. Nick Tripp is another incredible cornerback. This was the other one I wanted, actually. I was going to take this corner if he was available. And he is incredibly fast, great acceleration as well, and this time, good zone coverage. So he kind of looks like a safety a little bit. But of course, we got that right outside linebacker. We have the third best player in the class, Lloyd Boast, looks pretty good. Derek Lynch, we got him as well. Spencer Strong, Roosevelt Rayford. Okay, so that was actually the strong safety I wanted. I was going to take this guy if he was available. And he looks really good as well. He looks like a very fun player to actually use her. It's not that big of a deal that we weren't able to get him. We still have Clinton Dix, who's certainly still good. Okay, so this is definitely one of the better teams I've ever built, which is really fun, and it's really cool to see here. We have a 96 offense. I also just realized we don't have Tyler Biadash on the team anymore. That's kind of on me, actually. So, let me go ahead and trade for either a center or a guard. We also don't have any money to trade, so I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to do this, so maybe we just have some random backup come in and play. I'm okay with that. We're just going to go that route, actually. So, Zach Martin's going to be playing at right guard. And then we're going to have, like, Connor McGovern. Or maybe that Metcalf guy actually plays center. Because he's a 71 overall center. Yeah, that's fine. And then Zach Martin's going to be playing right guard. Let me go ahead and make that switch. So, the offense actually went down to a 93 after that switch. But it's not that big of a deal. It's still a 93 overall offense. Like, it's still a great part of the team. Once again, the offense isn't really different, like, at all. The only difference is the center, I guess. But, like, all the other positions are pretty much the same here. And then defensively, it is pretty much the same on this side of the ball as well. The only difference is that we have Lynch starting at defensive tackle, which I'm perfectly fine with because this guy can be a stud. He looks very good, and I'm hoping he doesn't only have star development. But even if he does just have star, he's still a great player. So it was not a bad draft pick in the slightest. But I will see you guys now at the end of the season. Yeah, okay, so this team has turned into a dynasty, I think, or it's at least very close to one at the moment. We won in Week 17, and we have a first-round bye. Show me undefeated. 12-4. Okay, well, I'll take that once again. 10-5-1 for the Giants, and 6-9-1 for the Redskins, 5-11 for the Eagles. Now, Dak Prescott, over 4,000 yards again, 39 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He has been so good for us this entire time. Same thing here with Ezekiel Elliott, 5.3 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns. It's nuts that this is his worst season, and it's still a very good one. CeeDee Lamb, 86 catches, 1,045 yards with 17 touchdowns. Amari Cooper, over 900 yards, 3 touchdowns. George Kittle gets 5 touchdowns, over 800 yards. This was probably the worst season from the offensive linemen, but it was still a pretty solid one from everybody aside from Tyron Smith. Defensively, we have 106 tackles for Jalen Smith. We have 13 tackles for loss for Braden Haynes and Neville Gallimore. We also have a ton of pressure this year. 18.5 sacks for DeMarcus Lawrence, 14.5 for Braden Haynes, 7.5 for Neville Gallimore, 5 for Derek Lynch. Definitely not bad. 3 picks for Leighton Vander Esch and Xavier Woods, 2 for HaHa Clinton Dix, Trayvon Diggs, and Chidobe Awuzie, 1 from Jalen Smith and Bruce Arnold. So we have a touchdown here and no safeties and then 3 blocked kicks. Okay, pretty cool. We were 6th in the NFL in offense. Sadly, this was never, number 1, but that's fine. And then we were 1st in the NFL on defense, not allowing over 5,000 yards. That's pretty cool. Lamar Jackson wins MVP this year, so it's finally not Dak Prescott. It's kind of sad. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Russell Wilson. Once again, it's not Dak Prescott, which is equally as sad to me. Defensive Player of the Year is Khalil Mack. But we do have DeMarcus Lawrence at number 10. Nice to see him up there again. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Anthony McCall. Anybody from the Cowboys? No, I don't think so. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Nick Tripp, but we do have Derek Lynch, and we have Randall Malone at number 5 and number 6. Best quarterback is Dak Prescott, so at least he wins that. Best running back is Saquon Barkley, but Ezekiel Elliott at number 6. Best wide receiver is Antonio Brown. CeeDee Lamb, though, at number 2. Antonio Brown went to the Buccaneers. Could you imagine? That's nuts. Best offensive lineman is Zach Martin. Tyron Smith at number 2, though. Lael Collins at number 4. Nobody else from the Cowboys, but that's fine. Best defensive lineman is Vita Vea, but we have DeMarcus Lawrence and Braden Haynes at number 2 and number 3. Best linebacker goes to Khalil Mack. Best defensive back is Jalen Thompson. Don't really see him up there too much. Darquez Dennard is also near the top. That's interesting as well. Okay, well, Xavier Woods at number 10. Cool to see him up there once again, too. I'm sure he was up there before. That's probably how he won up in development trait. Zane Gonzalez is the best kicker, but Greg the Leg at number 2. Certainly not bad there. We almost have the best kicker in the NFL, but it's okay. Let's advance by here and go to the divisional round of the playoffs. It's nice that we have not had to take on anybody in the wild card round this entire time, but let's upgrade the players. It's only Xavier Woods. I'll also spend the coach experience. We have 8,000, and I have pretty much every upgrade. I'm going to get every upgrade actually there. Boom, boom. Okay. We have all the player upgrades. And now, let's see if we can take on the Seattle Seahawks. They're very good in this game. Even at an 83, they're still a really, really good team, mainly because of Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner. They make the team so good. Let's advance by, though, and see if we can win. We should win this game, but nothing's guaranteed in Madden. And we do win, 21-17. That was actually very close. Now we have to take on the Falcons. They're an 84 overall. And can we make it to a 3rd consecutive Super Bowl? This would be absolutely massive for us. Please, give me another Super Bowl opportunity. And we have one, and we have to take on the Ravens. Okay, now let's see who went up in development trade first. Dak Prescott, are you up to X Factor? You are not, but you're a 95 overall after that experience point. That is nutty. Just look at this offense. 95 overall Dak Prescott, 99 overall Zeke, 96 overall Amari Cooper, 95 CeeDee Lamb, 99 George Kittle, 99 Zach Martin, 97 Tyron Smith, 91 Lael Collins. That is nutty. And then defensively, Haynes is up to a superstar development, which is actually pretty cool. Lynch only has star. Bit sad, but it's okay. The team is very nice looking, man. I hope this team can win a 3rd consecutive Super Bowl. That would be a perfect end to the video here. All right, let's go. Let's see if we can win this Super Bowl. 3-0, we have the lead. 7-3, the Ravens take it back. 10-3, no, tie up the game at least. Okay, 10-10, 17-10. And my computer, the fan is kind of going crazy. I apologize because you can probably hear that right now. It's 24-17. It's 24-20. I'm going to give the team a little bit more of a shot now. Where there's pretty much no chance to make this comeback there. 31-28. I could have potentially hopped in and won the Super Bowl, but it's okay. At least we made it to 3 in a row. And I really do apologize for the computer fan because I'm certain you can hear it. But at least we were here, you know, every season. That's pretty much all I look for in rebuilds, and I think this was a very, very successful rebuild. Of course, this team is incredibly easy to rebuild. It's not like it's a hard thing to do. The Cowboys have a great base roster in the game, and Madden's trade logic is terrible, so you can make it just a God squad very, very simply. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.